How's it going, guys? Hardcore Kid here with another edition of the Hardcore Podcast. To my left of me, I have, as always, Otaku Nate.
How's it going, everybody? And for once, we are not talking about robots. We are talking about a sport that does involve combat of sorts.
Sports, you say?
Sports entertainment.
Yes, today we're going to be talking about the latest WWE Wrestlemania 33, and joining us today we have another wrestling fan and
Ace Gamer,
Mike Maverick. How you doing, Mike?
Doing okay. Oh, and by the way, there is the women's revolution out there, and it's called Senran Kagura.
I have no idea what that means.
You don't want to know what it is, Brandon, knowing, if you rolled your eyes over me mentioning Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, then you have no idea what you're getting yourself into if you look up Senran Kagura.
Alright, I'll take your word for it.
All I'm gonna say is that the creator loves boobs and nothing more. He blesses the boobs as God's greatest creation, but we're not talking about boobs, although there were quite a few boobs on this roster.
There were some
tonight.
boobs, there were some butts, but
this isn't Keijo.
No, it is not. This year's WrestleMania, I gotta say, for up until about the John Cena versus The Miz mixed match, this was actually a hell of a show.
I would say that, while not a perfect Mania, it definitely atoned for the sins of WrestleMania 32 last year.
Last year, the booking was atrocious. It actually won Worst Show from the Wrestling Observer Awards. So, because the booking sucked, there were some matches that weren't that good, but this year, this was a long WrestleMania. We watched, there were 13 matches, I believe. Because we watched everything. We watched the pre-show. We saw the Cruiserweight match, the Battle Royal, the IC title, all the way until the end. The show actually ended at midnight. 12:15. That was right when Undertaker was leaving.
And at that point, Brandon and I just threw up our hands and said, okay, we're not doing the podcast tonight. We're doing it tomorrow.
Hell no. We were going to do it immediately after so we remember everything, but we were so tired we decided, screw this, and then we went to sleep. So,
Mike, what are your thoughts on Mania before we begin formal?
Well, let's just say it has their ups and downs. I mean, I do love the matches. I do love the Fatal 4-Way Women's Division title for Raw. And I say they put up a good show, even though you got Nia Jax, who is a perfect candidate for Keijo.
Well, she wasn't in there long. She got eliminated first, and I think that was for the best. But I say it's good. But even though the tag team, Raw tag team,
we'll get to that.
Let's get to that. Let's get to that later on.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this, because after that, I just continue to fangasm. I just missed out on a lot of things, but I will catch up on it.
That was a WrestleMania moment for the ages.
The whole Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. Yeah, I'm going to say this right now. I'll get to that later on as well.
All right, well, let's start from the top of the show. Just run it down from there. We'll start with the cruiserweight match. Did you watch the pre-show, Mike?
Oh, damn! I haven't got a chance to watch it.
All right, so yeah.
Let me guess. It's Neville versus Austin Aries.
Yes.
Yep. Neville retained.
It was actually a really good match because the crowd loves them some A-double.
I think here's my problem with the cruiserweights, because I know a lot of the anti-smarks, want the cruiserweights gone because they're just a waste of time. I don't mind having cruiserweights, but for the love of God, give us a reason to care.
Yes.
Give them characters that actually matter, because I refer to the WWE's handling of the cruiserweights as the Divas Revolution 2.0. They just put a bunch of guys on the roster and they expect us to care when, you know, they should have had more time to develop, more time to have been built up as some new guys for Raw.
Yeah, and that's really the biggest issue with all these little guys, because for years and years and years, Vince McMahon, they would bring in all like these little vanilla midgets to be jobbers, to get squashed by Braun Strowman or Big Show or whoever. They finally bring in their own cruiserweight division, and they don't really do much with them. I mean, the Cruiserweight Classic I really liked.
I did too.
And 205 Live, it's good depending on who's on there, like maybe Neville or Jack Gallagher. Or...
I mean, the only real cruiserweights who are over are Neville and Jack Gallagher, because unlike most of the other cruiserweights, they actually have personalities representing two different sides of England. You know, Jack Gallagher is the posh, cultured, highbrow side of England. Neville is more akin with like the chavs and the hooligan.
Yeah, and Austin Aries, he's a guy who really should like be pushed towards like the world title, because he's a really talented guy. He had a really good run when he was in TNA, and but I think he'll fit in well with the cruiserweights, because the crowd love Austin Aries. He's hands down one of the most charismatic guys probably in the WWE.
He can cut a good promo.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Can I just say this right now about the cruiserweights? First of all, gotta just say this right now. TJ Perkins got me into the cruiserweight division,
and nobody likes TJ Perkins.
Yeah, well,
exactly. Well, except for these guys who are bitching about him. I mean, goddamn. But the thing is, one thing that kind of pissed me off is that how the WWE writing staff. I'm not gonna say it's the wrestler's fault. I say it. I'm not gonna say it's the fans' fault. I say it's the WWE's writing staff's fault. And I'm just gonna say it's their fault for not giving TJ Perkins any push. And it's like, hey, you gave him something that we can enjoy. I mean, the guy has his intro through as a
video game
with the
gimmick.
Video game style gimmick. And seriously, it could fit. And you know what? They should like give him a gimmick. No. I've been saying this to one of my friends. Make him more like the Hurricane. You know when Gregory Helms is a fan of the Green Lantern, he became the Hurricane.
Kind of like
now, someone needs to give TJ Perkins a gimmick. Since he's a fan of Mega Man, call him the Blue Bomber.
Or you know, he was a video game character when he was in TNA, because
he was Manic Suicide.
Yeah, he was Suicide.
Except I doubt they're gonna use that name in there. Yeah, TJ, I think he could actually work as a heel in a way.
Yeah.
He definitely has that kind of. I don't know. God, who is this guy?
He has that hateability factor.
Yeah. Also, he's the first guy who introduced me to dabbing.
Oh.
God.
If he wants to do like a dramatic move, just have him do a JoJo pose. Don't make him dab, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
The JoJo pose is a lot better.
You know how I dab? When I sneeze.
Achoo! Yeah. So let's get away from that. Neville versus Aries. This was actually a really good match.
Good. Lot of good spots. A lot of high spots. Crowd was kind of into it. This is probably the biggest reaction that the cruiserweights have ever got.
Yeah, they pulled out some moves. Neville did some suplexes. At one point, Aries ended up getting suplexed right on his head.
Yeah. There were a lot of people getting dropped on their heads tonight.
Yeah. And Aries busted out his double hand axe handle all the way from the top rope right down on Neville. And right towards the end, I believe it was Aries busted out a Frankensteiner from the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went for the 450, but Neville kicked out. So Aries went for the last chancery, but Neville was able to target Aries' injured eye. And Aries just sold this like death. And then Neville, basically, he what did he do? He
uh,
he knocked out Aries, and then he hit the red arrow, and then got the pin, basically.
Yeah, it was a basic cruiserweight match.
Yeah, it was fun, though. I liked it.
Then we had the Geek Battle Royal, the Jabroni Battle Royal. I don't know what you'd call it.
You know, I'm actually disappointed. You have Samoa Joe on the main roster now, but they couldn't fit him in there. Instead, you had to get that guy from Sanity, Killian Dane, this big, fat, hairy blubber.
I'll still say he has a more convincing big guy physique than Chris Hero.
Oh. But you know what? At least Chris Hero can move. He can do stuff. This guy was just flopping around like a big bowl of jelly. I mean, yeah, basically, battle royals, there's not really any much talent to them. All you have to do is just throw a guy over the rope and that's it. And basically, yeah, it was just a clusterfuck for most of it. And really, Sami Zayn, I had to have him win this because they kept building him up and building him up and building him up. And then he just gets eliminated. So the last three, get this, the last three people in this battle royal are Mojo Rawley, Killian Dane, and Jinder McFucking Hall. Holy shit!
First of all,
yeah, go on.
Go ahead, Mike.
First of all, I really want Sami Zayn to win because the thing is that the WWE is trying to make him like the next Zack Ryder.
Yeah, and that's tragedy.
Yeah, it's like you building the guy up to the point. Oh, let's just bury that fucker. I was too devastated, and it's like we want the best for Sami Zayn.
Yeah. And actually, if Zayn didn't win, I figured that Brawny the Strowman would win.
I call him the Brawny Man. Like, you know, the Smarks can hate on Braun Strowman all he wants, but you know what?
I think he's improved a lot.
There is something satisfying of just seeing a big mountain of a man just throw vanilla midgets around the arena like they're just a bunch of rag dolls.
Yeah, I think he's much better. He's still not great, but I think he's improved a lot since he first debuted.
He and the Authors of Pain are prime candidates for most improved from the Observer this year.
And who was there was also another guy from NXT, what was it? Chinese guy? Tian Bing?
Yeah, Tian Bing. He wasn't from NXT, though. He was a Chinese guy, because this is, I believe, the first WrestleMania show to air in China.
Yeah, you wouldn't... I had no idea who the guy was, unfortunately.
He looked good, I'll admit. Probably going to be in NXT, fighting with Drew Galloway.
Yep, and again, Luke Harper, again... Who got completely fucked this year? Like they've turned him babyface. They thought they looked like they were gonna have him set up for the WWE Championship match. He should have been in that match because that match was garbage. But
we'll get to
he just got thrown out, and then so it finally comes down to the last three, and then
Jinder
Mahal goes out towards what's his name?
Rob Gronkowski for the Patriots.
Also known as Gronk. Because, yeah, they had to get a guy from the Patriots because, as we all know, the Miami Dolphins suck. Sorry, Perosi, but they suck.
I'm sorry, Chris. Sorry, Rowdy, but we took your joke.
Yeah.
And let me get this straight. Jinder Mahal won, right?
No. I'll explain.
It's funny because
Jinder
ahead,
took in classic heel fashion, Jinder Mahal took Gronk's drink, I'm assuming he had beer, and tossed it on him. Gronkowski, and I have no problem with what happened next, because it's the old WWE craziness that we know and love. He jumped over the barrier, and security, like, they tried to stop him, because apparently they had no idea that this was a work that Gronk was doing.
Yeah. And then they just pissed off and let him get into the ring.
He gets into the ring, takes his shirt off, gets ready, tackles Jinder Mahal.
And that was a hell of a tackle.
Oh, yeah. Certainly a better wrestler than Mongo.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he confronts Mojo. They hit it.
And then Yeah, so Killian Dane goes. The last man out is Jinder Mahal, and the winner, to the shock of
Rawley.
Mojo Rawley is the winner. I did not see this coming.
Yeah. But you know what? I will say this. I was never a big fan of Mojo Rawley, but I actually thought this did do a good job. This was a feel-good moment for him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if Zack Ryder can get his WrestleMania moment, then so can Mojo.
Mike, what were your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts.
Or no, you haven't seen the
match, let me, guys. I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna start doing some breathing exercise right now. Stupid idiot. Stupid idiot. Yeah, that's what I said about Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't mind Gronkowski being in there.
Yeah, I was like, it sucks that what's his name? Sami Zayn didn't win, but Mojo Rawley won it. And by the way, it's for the Under the Giant Battle Royale, right?
Yeah.
If this
it's a nothing thing to win, but you know what? If you want to have at least some kind of award or something under your belt, hey, you got your name under the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy, and
it's really just an excuse for all the geeks on the roster to, at least we have something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, it's like ever since they started the whole thing, it's just like King of the Ring sort of way,
exactly.
Like a King of the Ring tournament, but only a battle royale.
So that was that. It was nothing.
And people complained about the women's SmackDown Championship being moved to the pre-show, so they pushed it to the main show, and then they bumped the IC title match to the pre-show between Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose.
And honestly, I'm okay with this because this was a nothing match.
It was. Not much happened, although I am disappointed that Baron Corbin didn't win, because honestly, I think Dean Ambrose has kind of run his course as a champion, because he has some charisma, but somebody really needs to push him to do his full-on lunatic gimmick, because Broken Matt Hardy sort of upped the ante for what a lunatic can be in wrestling.
There you go.
And they haven't really just done anything with Ambrose. I think giving the title belt to Corbin would have been the right move, because it not only paints him as a great heel, and he had some great heel moments in this match when he yelled at the ref, saying like, "That was 3!" he was playing to the crowd. He was getting into it.
And
exactly.
Go ahead, Mike.
Exactly. The thing is about Dean Ambrose, I do like the lunatic fringe gimmick, but it's not full lunatic. It's more like a Bugs Bunny gimmick, to be honest.
Yeah.
And this feud had some wackiness to it, because apparently
this is the song written for the title match between Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose.
He tried to kill him with a forklift. Jose. Yeah. Yeah, so this was a nothing match, but I did like the ending.
Yeah.
Corbin was like, "Say goodbye to Dean Ambrose." And then he went for the end of days. Ambrose was able to counter it by doing a complete flip, and he got the dirty deeds on Corbin and retained the title.
Yeah, I think Corbin has potential to be a big star on SmackDown, but you're not going to get him over by having him job to Dean Ambrose, because, since they need to build up some new stars after Mania, I would pay to see Baron Corbin fight Luke Harper for the title, because Luke Harper deserves a good solo push.
Yeah, and speaking of SmackDown, I like to say is that Mauro Ranallo, I hope he comes back. And if something happens to him, I'm looking at you, JBL.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. There's two sides to the story, but I'm not gonna chime in on that.
Yeah.
Let's just move on to the main show, and the New Day comes out like last year in cosplay.
Yeah, they were dressed up as characters from Final Fantasy. Honestly, the only Final Fantasy games I've played are, unfortunately for me, Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VIII.
I'm gonna do the Titus laugh now. No, I'm not. That's an overused meme that deserves to die.
Yeah.
And also, I'd just like to say to Xavier Woods' hair. I'm sorry. I think Chris Jericho did the Cloud Strife hairdo back in '98.
We had Xavier was a bard, Big E was a red mage, and Kofi Kingston was a samurai. And they had Moogles with them. They had a chocobo on their little ice cream cart.
And I'm surprised that Michael Cole knows what Moogle is.
I doubt it. I'm sure it was they plugged it for him.
When Michael Cole said, "I love Final Fantasy," I just rolled my eyes and I said, "Yeah, Mike." I just rolled my eyes at him and I said, "Yes, Michael Cole, you love Final Fantasy almost as much as I like getting a root canal."
Next day he'll say that he watched Keijo.
Oh no.
So our opening match for the main card, AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon.
I think this was the indication that WrestleMania 33 was going to be a much better show than we had predicted.
I was not thinking much of it because first off I was mad because AJ got screwed out of the championship match and he has to be the opener against a 48-year-old. But to my absolute shock, this match was better than I expected it would be.
It was, although can I just be honest? I don't want Shane in any more WrestleMania matches. Not that I don't think he can't wrestle. He can. As long as he just doesn't do those stupid punches, he's okay. But I don't want Shane McMahon to die, for crying out loud. I mean,
what?
He looked gassed out from walking down the ramp.
Well, that ramp was a mile long.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like right now, it's like back then, even though I was like, the funny thing is about Shane McMahon, I was like, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. The greatest thing about Shane McMahon is like, when it comes to pay-per-views, he always delivers. And like, for instance, it's like, I mean, seriously, flying on top of a Hell in a Cell, flying on top of
Titantron,
in order to even the Titantron and everything else. I was like, dude, I mean, yes, his punches sucks and all, but the guy always delivers and everything else.
He knows
always
how to tell a good story.
He should take.
And not to mention, I was like, I think is he taking wrestling lessons from Mick Foley?
I don't know. Maybe he should learn his punch technique from Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I know Matt. I don't know if you follow the indies, Mike, but there's a guy, named Matt Riddle who does the sort of rapid punches that Shane does, but they're a lot more convincing because Matt Riddle is a former UFC fighter.
Yeah.
So the strikes actually look like he actually delivers them in a convincing fashion. He doesn't just go up and start beating on a guy like a guy from a Looney Tunes cartoon. But Shane's punches aside, this was a good match. We had a good ref. It told a good story. Yeah. I liked the little ref bump that they did, although I'm fairly certain that AJ Styles killed that referee.
Yeah, Shane, he did a lot of submissions in this match, I gotta say. A lot of mat wrestling and a lot of mat wrestling. He did his dive from the ring to the table, which it would have been cool if they didn't already do it for free on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
But, exactly. But go on.
And no,
Mike, you say something.
You first.
Oh, I'd like to say, going back to Shane's punches. It was like, is he okay? I think he learns how to punch by learns to punch just like Hibari from Senran Kagura.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's what it looks like. But okay, all Shane's punches aside.
Yeah.
Yeah. He like I said, I think I said enough about how Shane McMahon delivers. Even AJ Styles hold up the match as well.
Well, AJ
AJ could have a match with a broomstick, and it would still be good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they do a whole bunch of stuff. They kick out of stuff. There was some craziness with the garbage cans.
And Shane tried doing a shooting star press, I think it was.
Yeah, and at least he didn't kill himself like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And eventually AJ hit the phenomenal forearm and finally got the pin.
It was a good match to kick off the show.
Yeah. It exceeded expectations.
And then we had Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens.
I thought this match was okay.
Yeah, it was good, but, you're following AJ versus Shane.
Yeah.
Nah,
And you've got two guys who... This is basically a blood feud. They're out to kill each other.
There were some good spots about, where Kevin Owens was being a heel, saying, you have no friends or something. And if this is like a foreshadowing to a full Kevin Owens heel turn where he just becomes a merciless brawler, I'm on board with that.
I think he pretty much is, right? He's been a heel since he came to this company.
Well, in the Jericho angle, he was more a babyface than a heel.
In a way.
Okay, and to those filthy casuals out there who hating on Kevin Owens because he's now a U.S. title. Guess what? He has a U.S. title now. So I know you guys are hating on him because for the fact that he has a Universal Championship.
Yeah, the U.S. Championship has now elevated him.
Now it's elevated him, and now he's going to make it relevant.
Especially since I don't think we're going to be seeing the Universal Championship anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. They're probably going to be building to Brock versus Roman at SummerSlam, and again, I'm okay with that. Although I'll get into my thoughts on Roman Reigns when we get to the main event. But overall,
me too.
Overall, a good match, but the crowd didn't really seem into it. Like there was no real chance or nothing, but some good in-ring psychology. They were countering each other's moves, and a nice little spot where Kevin Owens broke up a hold by putting his finger on the rope.
Oh, that was awesome.
He got a...
That'll be fun. No, it'll be funny if he used a pinky.
I think he did use his pinky.
I think there was I don't know if this was New Japan or not, but there was actually somebody who had his arms wrapped up, so he had to rope break using his teeth to grab onto the ropes, which sounds amazing. I hope we find that somewhere. So yeah, Chris Jericho, I think he's on his way out. And Kevin Owens, he's now got the U.S. Championship. KO Mania reigns supreme.
And of course, maybe Chris Jericho might retire, I guess.
Yeah, well, he's in his late 40s now, but you wouldn't actually tell, because the dude doesn't look a day over 40.
John Bon Jericho shall reign supreme.
John Bon Jericho.
Thank you, Michael Sweet, for that joke, by the way.
Too sweet.
Michael Sweet from Striper, I should say.
So, we got the women's four-way. Bayley versus Charlotte versus Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks.
I'd like to rant here for a second.
Go ahead, unleash your anger.
Okay. I know a lot of anti-smarks hate women's wrestling in general, and they also hate Bayley because, she's the female equivalent of a vanilla midget, etc., blah, 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 blah.
How could you hate Bayley? Oh, yeah, because they booked her like a heel. They booked her like a heel in this whole thing.
Well, I haven't been following the booking, but I do know this. I don't mind that Bayley is champion. I think she's a great natural babyface. I think that she makes for a good women's champion on Raw. But they mishandled her championship run every single step of the way, and it started by having her win the title on Raw. It should have been her win at WrestleMania should have been her first ever championship, because it's the same mistake WCW made with Hulk Hogan versus Goldberg by putting the championship match on Nitro. Because they could have made so much more money off of this match on pay-per-view rather than putting it on free TV. And yes, it popped the ratings big for them. Yes, it got their biggest house in WCW history. But if Goldberg had won at, say, like Fall Brawl, Halloween Havoc, or Starrcade, it would have made his victory as champion all the more significant. I mean, would Austin have gotten over as he did had he not won the championship at WrestleMania 14, or Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 12?
Yeah, and it's like they also had the SmackDown Women's Championship tonight, and Naomi won it back, and it felt so much more significant than Bayley retaining tonight because, you know, Naomi she had the title, but then she got injured and had to drop it. She got it back tonight in her hometown, and it was a feel-good feeling. This should have been what they had done with Bayley tonight. Just have her chasing after the title, unable to win it, and then have her win it tonight, and the crowd goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Yeah. So as for the match, it was good for what it was.
I completely forgot this was an elimination match.
Yeah. The first one out was Nia Jax, who...
Good riddance.
I actually wanted Nia Jax to win. You can say what you want about her, but... I mean, again, we haven't really seen a monster woman win the title. Like, maybe Chyna. I mean, I'm not familiar with WWE women's history of the women's title, but just seeing this I'm trying to be polite here, like this giantess of a woman who destroys everything in her way win the title. That would have been significant.
There was there is another giant woman out there who was women's champion for quite a while, and that was Awesome Kong. And she
or Karma.
Yeah. And unlike Nia, she did have a lot of experience, and she was a hell of a wrestler. But Nia Jax, she's still very green, and
I don't think she's ready yet, but
she isn't ready.
If she beats Bayley at, say, SummerSlam, I think it would make for a great title change.
Sure.
She just needs a little more time to mature. She got eliminated first, and even though I was mad that she did get eliminated, it was cool how she went out, because these three average height women are like, oh crap, we've got this monster in the ring with us. What do we do? Okay, let's just give her a dog pile. Let's just dog pile on her and pin her, all three of us at once. That was a great spot. I liked that.
Yeah.
And then Charlotte, she realizes, oh crap, I'm in the ring with two friends now. And then she...
Yeah, fuck off. You two fight it out. Beat the shit out of each other. I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines and watch you.
They teased a Sasha Banks heel turn, which is what a lot of the Smarks want. I don't think it's time for her yet.
There's only two baby faces on this Raw roster, and it's Sasha and Bayley. If you just have Sasha turn heel, Bayley's the only baby face.
Exactly.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Until Raw gets like a solid baby face or something, or like a true star.
Maybe if they... I don't know what they're going to do with Emma. Because obviously, Emma we probably won't see until, like, I don't know, 2019. Yeah, but, yeah, because they really need some star power. Both these divisions. Ever since they separated them, they've just been completely washed.
Well, the SmackDown women's division is arguably better.
Yeah, they got some good wrestlers. You got some good baby faces in Naomi and Becky and... who else is on? Nikki, I guess.
Nikki Bella, Carmella, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. I was about to say her name.
Yeah, but yeah, like I don't know. Asuka, I thought at Takeover she'd finally lose to Ember Moon, but no, she retained through cheating. But yeah, like they definitely need some new talent for the main roster.
Indeed, and I think that's kind of what this women's tournament they're holding this summer is about. I mean, I know a lot of the anti-smarks saying, you know, women don't matter in the WWE, but
fuck 'em.
There are plenty of men and women out there who like seeing the women, and I'm finally glad that they're getting their due.
Okay, mind if I rant this? All right.
Go ahead, Mike.
Mind if I rant? Well, from what I heard about when these anti-smarts, or should I say filthy casuals, saying that,
they're not all filthy casuals. I will agree that some of them are a bit harsh, but I mean, like, my favorite anti-smark, believe it or not, is Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's good.
Because unlike a lot of the anti-smarks, he doesn't just talk about how much the product sucks. He says, okay, this is good, this isn't so good, but I think it could be better. He always tries to find an upside in something.
Yeah, because the thing is, I've been having trouble trying to trust these people who are anti-smarks. Like, for instance, there's this idiot named MT Omar Reviews. I don't like that fucker, by the way.
Uh, and I
Yeah,
also good reviewers to listen to are Brian Alvarez and Vinny Verhey. They're a big
yeah,
inspiration to the podcast. They're great.
and guys from like guy who hosted Wrestling with Regret, like you
Brian
mentioned.
Zane.
These guys are good. These guys are good people. But people like fucking MT Omar and WCW NWO Wolfpack 2016, who are these guys are?
Yeah,
These guys running these channels like bashing the smart, saying that it's our fault that wrestling
no,
is in there. No, it's not. No, it's not. You know whose fault it is? It's the WWE writing staff. It's the booking. Those people who are doing piss poor booking is at fault of this whole thing. And these guys saying that women's wrestling don't matter, then I believe that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to call you out on this, but you guys, I hate using that word, but these guys are misogynists. I'm sorry for saying that word.
Because women's wrestling was so much better back in the Attitude Era.
No, like I've actually been looking back at the Attitude Era. There's been some shit wrestling.
There were some good stories.
Yes,
not
it
so
is.
good. I think there were some good stories. Most of the wrestling, though, was unmemorable compared to what WCW was doing.
Like people are bitching at how wrestling's too PG, and it's like, you know what? At least you're getting some good matches. And
Exactly.
and people complained about there not being enough blood. There was some blood on this show. Like Reigns' face was all beat up. Shane's face was all beat up.
Kevin Owens got some cuts.
These guys are beating the shit out of each other.
But we're getting off topic.
No more razor blades. Nothing. It's all just they're beating their own asses for our entertainment, and I'm enjoying it.
We're getting off topic here. Let's So Bayley retains, much to in what should have been her first championship. Yeah. That's really all that needs to be said. And then
we got the Hall of Fame inductees coming out. They played Kurt Angle's music, and everybody chanted "You suck."
I went to an indie show where Kurt Angle was working. There's a second part to that "You suck" chant. Whenever they go "You suck," some other people will go, "No, he doesn't."
I remember when Kurt won the World Heavyweight Championship in that Battle Royal when he beat Mark Henry. And right at the end, everyone chanted, "You rock," which was really cool.
I really hope that they do this from now on, where they get all the Hall of Famers out every year and they take a nice big picture of them. That's a WrestleMania moment in and of itself. And speaking of WrestleMania moments.
Oh, yes.
Yes!
Yes! Delightful!
Yep, we got the Bullet Club versus Sheamus and Cesaro versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass.
And wait, stop right there. I'll take over.
Go ahead.
So the New Day come out, and everyone's curious. You know, the New Day says, this is now a fatal four-way. And my instant thought, like, I heard the delete chants, and I go, no, that's not. The New Day are going to enter in themselves and win the titles. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. Because the way they did it, it seemed as if the New Day was going to enter themselves into the ladder match.
I think that was the idea.
And
they swerved you.
And they swerved us in the best way possible. All the Titantrons turn purple, and who comes out but the Hardys? I marked so hard.
We were going crazy.
My seat.
Yes, and we indulge.
Yes.
So the Hardys come out, and Matt he's still got the streak in his hair, and he looked about, I don't know, 55% broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was doing the occasional aneurysms. He did the arm movement. There was the delete chant, and I actually went on the YouTube site, and he sounded kind of normal. He wasn't really doing the accent, but he did do the delete bit at some point.
I think it's because of the whole lawsuit with Anthem. I think like once the whole thing gets settled or dropped, that's when Matt will go back to
I think Rebby Sky now owns the rights to it, but there's still some kind of dissension between the two of them. But
yeah, in other words, hashtag fuck that owl.
Fuck that owl. This match, it was a good match, but I think it was really overshadowed by the Hardys' presence.
Yeah, and they didn't really do much in this match, which is understandable when they wrestled everybody's favorite spot monkeys, the Young Bucks.
The Hardys. They've been... It's amazing. These two fuckers are insane. In the past 24 hours, they had 2 ladder matches.
One with the Young Bucks and one with 3 tag...
The Bucks of Youth. Those spot monkeys.
You know, Spoonie had the burn of the night because somebody asked, once the Hardys won the titles and they appeared, they said, so the Hardys are now the greatest tag team in all of time and space. What does that make the Young Bucks? Spoonie responds with, overrated spot monkeys.
Okay, so... Okay, can I just explain what... Okay, when Michael Cole said that things are about to be broken, I was be like, he's like, are you catching up? Are you catching up with the Hardys, Michael Cole?
Well,
I'm not sure.
I will say this, though. I will be watching Raw tonight. I am interested to see what direction they go with the Hardys.
Yeah, we'll talk about where Raw and SmackDown should go from here.
Yeah, so basically, there was some wackiness with the ladders. Sheamus, his head was all stitched up from the ladder incident from last week's Raw. There was a picture of the scar he had. Jesus Christ.
Cesaro did a long giant swing with Gallows.
I thought he was gonna do 100 swings with that thing, but he only got up to about 27.
I don't think so. It was cool though that Sheamus was counting in rhythm by chopping Carl Anderson. That was a fun spot.
Yeah. Basically, what happened here? Cass had Enzo on his shoulders, tried to get the belts, wasn't able to, and then what was it? I think it was Sheamus and Cesaro ended up on both ladders. Jeff did a swanton dive onto Cesaro, completely destroyed the ladder.
There were 2 ladders.
There were 2 ladders.
Destroyed a ladder,
and then Sheamus just rolled right off.
He's like,
fuck.
I don't think he got all of that. But then, since everyone was outside the ring, this left Matt and his broken brilliance to go get the titles.
I think somebody should have told Matt you could unhook the entire rack that the belts were on, but he's like, nah, fuck it. I'm just getting both belts off.
He should have summoned Vanguard 1 to get the belt.
Wait, or even better, Senor Benjamin.
Have Senor Benjamin come out with a taser and just tase Enzo, and then Enzo just goes, and Enzo.
He'll be like,
Enzo is determined to get himself killed. Basically, he's almost died 4 times this year.
I think Enzo would work better as a manager than as a wrestler.
Yeah,
because he's got the mic skills and the hype to be one, but like as a wrestler, he works way too fast.
Yeah, too fast. He's sloppy, and he has the charisma, but he just, and he's really good at selling, but just not good at offense.
And also, he stole Scotty 2 Hottie's hairdo, or whatever.
There were some horrifying costumes tonight, because Cass, a lot of wrestlers tonight were like tan as hell. Cass comes out in these red trunks, and his body color is almost about the same color as his trunks.
Yeah, he looks like a pack of Big Red.
And Enzo came out with his wacky gold suit.
Geez, Walt Frazier, or neither Walt Frazier nor Don Cherry would be caught dead in those things, and if you don't know who those are, look them up. You'll see some silly
And Matt
suits.
and Jeff, they actually look the most normal out of everybody in this match, believe it or not.
Yeah, a lot of people were tanned tonight.
Yeah, a farmer's tan, as some like to call it. So yeah, the Broken Hardys win, and it's an absolutely delightful win, a perfect end to the exhibition of gold, I would say.
Yes. And then we move on to a match that I wish was better than it actually was, but again, the ending more than made up for it.
I wasn't expecting much out of this match.
John Cena versus The Miz and Maurice with
it was John Cena and Nikki
versus
Bella.
The Miz and Maurice
In a mixed tag match.
Mm-hmm.
This was my bathroom break.
I'll say this though, for all the crap that The Miz gets from wrestling fans, he knows how to be a good heel. Do you agree with me, Mike? You there?
Yeah, I do.
Just giving,
I'm here.
Just giving a rain check. Okay.
Well,
say what you want.
I'm here, and also I'll just go ahead.
Yeah. Say what you want about The Miz and his wrestling ability. He knows how to be a great heel. He has the charisma. He knows how to play to the crowd. He knows how to connect with viewers, both casual and hardcore. And he's a guy that you want to see defeated. And that's the kind of heel that I think WWE really needs.
Yeah, like, there's very few heels these days that I genuinely hate. And I think Miz really works it. He's a heel, and I hate him. Neville, he's a good natural heel. I like him, but I really think he has a great hateability to him. And I think that's great. And this match, again, I didn't really care for it that much. Finish came when they did. They both did 5-knuckle shuffles and then did the attitude adjustments. Nikki did like I don't know what the heck happened, but it looked like she just fell back when she did the AA.
Yeah, the women didn't really do much in this match.
Yeah, but well, and so they both got the double pin, and the ref was awesome. He just counted them both.
Yeah, like we need more double pin counts.
Yes. And then I actually kind of predicted this, but I thought it was a very sweet moment. Cena gets the microphone. He gives this speech about how when Nikki broke her neck and he was with her in the hospital, and then I am not afraid to say that I kind of teared up at this because even though I don't really follow the WWE as a hardcore fan, you could tell that Cena meant every single word that he said. Absolutely. And
this was easily the second most heart-wrenching moment of the night.
Yeah, we'll talk about one later.
We'll get to the number one of that night.
Yeah. And so basically, Cena popped the question to Nikki. He pulled a ring box out of his jeans. I'm pretty sure he's had that in his jeans since like the beginning of the year, like a year and a half. So he finally gets it out. Nikki says yes. They kiss in the ring.
It was a wonderful, wonderful moment.
But you know what? There were cheers. There were also boos.
Yeah, I mean,
you motherfuckers! How dare you boo this?
To all you smart,
you know, as much as I don't like John Cena, as much as one bit, as much as one guy, but I don't boo that. But I don't boo that shit.
Next to Roman, he was like the most hated person tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really like this.
Yeah, it was a good match. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts is that I'm still fangasming over the Hardys coming back, but
yeah,
I just missed out on it. But but still, I say that if I could look back to it, and I was like, you know, I think the whole thing is awesome. I think The Miz owns 3/4 of the match, but at the end, I say. Props to John Cena popping the question to the people who are booing. Dude. I don't like John Cena myself. I don't like the guy. I don't like his talent. The guy is so overrated as fuck. But let him have his moment, okay? Let him have his moment.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's his WrestleMania. Oh, you know, it kind of reminds me of.
Ooh.
The Macho Man Randy Savage.
I was about to make that comparison.
Miss Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest comparison I remember. I was watching that. I was watching that while I was little. On free TV, by the way. But
yeah.
But at least looking back at it and then looking to that, there you go.
Yeah. So that was good. The match was nothing special, but the ending was great.
Yeah, and then this was my pick. This was probably the second worst match of the night. We move on to Triple H versus Seth Rollins.
In an unsanctioned match, or in better terms, a no DQ match.
Can we talk about Triple H's entrance?
Yeah, Hunter, when it comes to WrestleMania, he always has, like, the best entrances. And, here, basically, he stole Undertaker's motorcycle for this.
And he's accompanied to the ring by a police motorcade. Yeah. They even played the sirens.
It was really cool. And,
then CrossFit Jesus comes out holding a torch.
And then he lights up the entire ramp, like, fuck this ramp.
And I look at it and I go, Seth, the Olympic Games aren't for another 18 months, and that's the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, it was cool. I honestly haven't really cared about this feud, and that's because Seth Rollins is supposed to be the babyface in this feud, but the whole storyline behind it is that Seth Rollins, back when he was a heel, he was under the wing of Triple H. And all this time, Triple H was helping him cheat. So, when Hunter turned on him to give Kevin Owens the Universal Championship, Seth felt betrayed. And so, he automatically turns face, and now he wants to get revenge on the guy that helped him cheat? What? And it's like the entire time, Hunter... He's been cutting these promos on Raw. He acts. It's like he is the babyface in this feud. And the only time he actually felt remotely heelish was when he buried Mick Foley. And it's like,
to look back at the whole situation. I had to rebuttal on this one. I think it does make sense that Seth Rollins had to get revenge on Triple H, because for the fact of the matter is that if you get this far because, hey, one guy said that, hey, you have the talent and everything else, and then he lied to your face, he lied to your face after your injury and everything else. Yes, he does feel, yes, Seth Rollins feels betrayed. And that's the whole thing about it.
But the thing is that he hasn't done much to get any sympathy.
He gets no sympathy from me.
And, the storyline, as bad as it was, I just want to talk about the reason why this match, it was long, but it was long, and there was some good psychology, because I loved how Rollins was selling his knee, but, okay, here's the thing. Rollins blows out the MCL on his knee, because, he works way too fast, and he is out for almost a year getting the thing reconstructed. He hurts it again thanks to a freak accident from Samoa Joe, and then he comes back to WrestleMania with it, like, all bandaged up and in a brace, and what does he do? He does a bunch of high spots where he has to land on his knees or use his knee that he hurt, no doubt hurting it further. Stupid!
Yeah, this guy... God bless Rollins, but there's always times where he's just too reckless. Like, he injured Finn Balor. Finn's been out for almost half a year. I'm actually disappointed he didn't return tonight. In fact, this entire show had no Finn, no Joe.
I would have loved for Samoa Joe.
Where the fuck was Joe?
I would have loved to have seen Joe come in and screw Seth over, because it would have made for a good moment. Like, Seth, he's got H's sledgehammer, he's by the crowd, and he's about to swing it, but then Joe grabs his arm, looks at him, tells him, and then, he gets involved in the match. They beat up Rollins for a while, and he just lays broken in a heap.
I don't know, maybe he saw catering in the back and got hungry.
The only way Joe gets in the match is if Rollins dresses up as a cheeseburger smothered in a Twinkie.
Yeah, or maybe this was an unsanctioned match. Maybe they pulled a box of Twinkies out from under the ring and left it in the corner, and Joe just starts running out.
If Cassius Ohno doesn't eat him first.
Oh man.
Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. Look, Cassius Ohno is a great worker, and I understand that he has an issue with his thyroid that he has trouble losing weight, but dude, get some new gear, man.
He did actually get some new gear at last night's takeover. It was like purple and black, and it wasn't tucked into accentuate the giant canyon that was his belly button.
He needs a singlet. That's what I say he wears from now on. He needs a singlet. I mean, because Gary Albright, Vader, and Earthquake can look really good. Like, they were fat guys and they wore singlets.
Yeah. What did you think of this match, Mike?
Well, I kind of missed out again, but at I kind of fell asleep afterwards.
Yeah.
But during that match, I could predict it was good. I mean, I just hope I could see more of it, and as much as the whole story, I hope they're gonna put this whole storyline to rest afterwards.
Yeah, well,
and then hopefully that Seth Rollins could take the time, give him a whole year to recuperate his knee.
Yeah, well, so this probably settles the feud between Hunter and Seth, and I guess now Seth can go on to Wrestling Joe.
I'd love to see. I really think that Rollins from now on should be a heel, because Rollins works better as a heel to me. I mean, because his baby face is just it just feels forced.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
So basically, the ending of this match came when Stephanie went up on the apron to interfere. Then Hunter just charged at Seth, but then Seth moved out of the way. Stephanie goes crashing right through a table. Really sturdy table, I must say. A 90-pound woman just falls through it like nothing.
Hey. She's falling with a good deal of force, man.
Yeah, like 5 feet. And Triple H is staring at Stephanie like, oh my god, I just killed my wife. And then he turns around, Seth hits him with the pedigree and gets the cleanish win, basically.
Kinda.
Yeah, well.
This match, I don't know.
Well, you know what? Seth got his revenge.
It was flashy, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
And speaking of not caring...
Oh my god.
Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton.
Okay, time for me to make my rant.
Go ahead.
So here we go. So this whole shit starts when Orton basically he got into this feud with Bray Wyatt. Then in a tag match, he turns on Kane. Kane is taken out. He's never been seen since, and he joins the Wyatt family. Okay. So Orton he's pretending to be a heel. He's basically a babyface in disguise. He's trying to break up the Wyatt family, and he causes tension. And Luke Harper realizes there's tension growing between Harper and Orton, and eventually Harper finally turns babyface. He turns on Bray, he turns on Orton, and then he's finally released to go on his own. So Orton then announces he's not going to face Bray at WrestleMania. Okay, so they have like a thing going where I guess Luke Harper is going to be wrestling to compete against Bray at WrestleMania. All right. They have a battle. They have a battle royal. Harper should have won this battle royal because they say, they touched the floor at the same time. You keep watching that replay. AJ clearly hit the floor first. So there is no controversy. So they decide to have a match between AJ and Luke Harper to decide who will face Bray at WrestleMania. AJ wins, so Luke Harper loses his spot, unrightfully so. So that sucks. And then Orton reveals that he was faking this whole time, and that he's not, in fact, with Bray Wyatt. So he goes and he commits arson, burning down the barn with Sister Abigail's ashes, I guess, in it.
Yeah.
And somehow this automatically gives him the a spot in WrestleMania. Like what? And then AJ gets fucked out of the championship, even though he rightfully owned it. This match should have been Orton versus Bray versus AJ, or if you want to be fair, Orton versus Bray versus Luke Harper. Because I would have taken either of those, because this match was bullshit. It was a bullshit match.
It was nothing really.
It was
happened.
nothing, and then I guess they wanted to throw in some mind games by throwing in these holograms of pictures of maggots and worms and cockroaches, and it's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Bray Wyatt has the power to summon Willy Wonka's magic tunnel of death.
It's stupid. Stupid and fake. And I guess it was just some way to try and make it a bit more interesting, but no, because I've seen these two wrestle before, and there just really isn't any chemistry between the two of them. This really felt like a glorified SmackDown match.
Mike, your thoughts? Because I think Brandon just took all the words out of my mouth.
I'm sorry. You unleashed your fury on the women's match. I unleashed my fury on this match.
I have no comment on the whole thing.
This match broke
you.
It completely broke you.
No, it's broken, all right. I'm not talking about broken brilliance. Broken. I'm talking about, by God, this is the most broken piece of crap I ever seen in my existence.
They ought to...
And then in the midst of it, Orton just hits the RKO out of nowhere and wins. Bullshit.
It would not surprise me if they release Bray Wyatt after this. Like,
I don't know.
His ship has sailed long ago.
The day may come when we finally get Hardy's versus Bray Wyatt, I guess, since, I don't know. The Vintner might come back and join Bray again, but we really don't know now.
Yeah,
the thing, I just hope. Here's just hope one thing. I think Eric needs to come back. Eric needs to come back and join Bray Wyatt again.
Oh no,
and then reform the Wyatt family. Huh?
Yeah, there was a weird moment where your audio went really slow, and it almost sounded like you were getting possessed. It sounded awesome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
All right. Yeah, like I said, they could at least bring Eric Rowan back and fucking bring back the Wyatt, bring the Wyatt family back and everything, and then we'll see the Wyatts versus the Hardys.
We'll see what happens. It's up in the air right now, but
yeah, thanks a lot, Randy Orton, for ruining our chances, because can I just say this? Here's a lesson I learned. Randy Orton ruins everything.
I don't know. I think I've turned a corner with Orton in the past couple years, because his RKO's certainly gotten over. The only time I really don't like Orton is when he's wrestling John Cena, because these two have had like so many matches together.
When he works with someone other than Cena, he can put on a great match.
You know what? I'm sure after this he's going to be feuding with AJ Styles. And I know these two can have a good match, because they had a good match on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, and it was great. So I'm all up for AJ versus Orton. You want to say any last words on this match?
Again, no comment.
All right. You know what? Holy shit! There were a lot of title changes on this show. I think U.S. title changed hands. Both world titles changed hands. SmackDown women's title changed hands. Four title changes on this show.
Speaking of, let's go to Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, the match everyone was dreading.
I'll say it right now. This match, it only went about 5 minutes, still 100 times better than the match they had at WrestleMania 20.
Oh my god, it made up for the match at WrestleMania 20 and then some. In 4 minutes and 46 seconds, between these two men, they only did four moves total, and yet it was still entertaining.
Yeah, there were suplexes, there was spears, there was a big collision right through the wall, which automatically gives this an extra star.
Mm-hmm.
I would have maybe throw in some punches.
Yeah, I would like to see some grappling or like since these two have MMA backgrounds, like some MMA moves. But it was just the perfect length, considering that the show is already going on for way too long.
And Goldberg, is a guy, he can't do 10-minute matches, so this was perfectly fine.
Yeah, it was a very well-worked match. It was everything that it needed to be. Great chemistry between both men. Not a single minute or second was wasted.
Yes, and so Bork Laser gets the Universal title. Goldberg, his championship may have only lasted a month, but just watching him on TV, there wasn't really much. He doesn't really have much left he can do. So, yeah, but you know what? It is good to see Goldberg at least come back, entertain us, have some fun. And Brock Lesnar, he's got a championship now. I wonder what they're going to do with Brock. I think he's probably still going to be doing part-time shit. Which, given that he's not doing UFC anymore. So, he retired from UFC. He's probably just going to be only making sparring appearances. And, they're paying him a lot of money to do nothing, basically.
This Universal title reign certainly should enhance his career.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Did you see what I did there?
Yep.
Oh! I just got it. Wow. Holy shit.
Micah,
you're a dope, Nate. You need some anti-doping.
Well, on Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar.
What do you take? You doing some anti-doping over there, Mike?
Yep. How can I be so hype at something that is so goddamn boring?
I thought it was fun. It was fine. It wasn't boring. They kept moving the whole time.
It was a fast-paced match it may have been over quickly, but it was perfect for what it was.
Yeah,
you don't need to have a 5-star match. Just make it entertaining.
Yeah, and you know what? The crowd was into it. You look behind them; they were doing yes chants. They were
doing
cheering.
Goldberg chants.
This was also a very pro Brock crowd because Goldberg was getting boos.
Yeah. Wow, but the thing is, I was kind of skeptical at the match, but then again, I know it's supposed to be a Goldberg match, but I might look into it and see how it is. But the problem is that I'm so skeptical at times. It's like the episode of South Park where Stan sees everything as shit. Yeah, that kind of episode.
Yeah,
that's how I kind of feel when it comes to types of matches. And to be honest, I like Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the
Universal
Universal title. I don't know if either Goldberg or Brock Lesnar wins. Either way, they'll probably go to vacate the belt, or two, keep the belt for the entire year. You're never going to see that belt ever again until next year.
Well, you know what? Consider a lot of people would be really happy not to see that title again. Because I don't know, I don't have a problem with it. My favorite color is red. But
give us a different design, like
maybe put some more gold on it or something.
Give us bring back the winged eagle.
Yeah, sure.
That's the best belt.
Yeah, so not really much to say about the match, but it accomplished what it needed to. So we move on to the what would you call this? The bathroom break?
Yeah, the SmackDown women's match. I took a bathroom
Alexa
break.
Bliss versus Naomi versus Carmella
With
versus
James
Natalya
Ellsworth.
versus Becky Lynch versus Mickie James for the women's title match. This was a complete clusterfuck.
Mickie James came out dressed as somebody from King of Fighters.
Yeah,
and yes, I know that she's Native American.
Yeah, well, but yeah, it was cool though. This match, I think, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 women, basically just going in, doing a whole bunch of random shit and a whole bunch of random moves, blah 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 blah.
I'm disappointed Ellsworth didn't get more involved in the match.
Yeah, you know what? It's a women's match. He is not Santina. So yeah, so basically they hit all their moves, and finally it came down to Naomi and Alexa Bliss. Naomi got her what was it?
Sharpshooter.
Or no?
No, that's Natalia.
That's Natalia's.
Oh God, what was Naomi? What's Naomi's finishing move?
It's like she basically choked Alexa Bliss out. It was a rear naked choke, and she got the rear naked choke on Alexa. Alexa tapped out, and Naomi finally got her championship back that she never lost in her hometown, which is actually a rarity for this show. And I don't mean the white horse with blue diamonds on her ass. And Naomi, Glow Girl, finally gets her title back.
Oh man, Naomi. Oh, excuse me, got gunk in my throat. Naomi's entrance was pretty cool.
Her entrance alone makes her over with the crowd. I mean, with Finn Balor gone for the time being, she automatically has the best entrance.
She was wearing DX colors, and she certainly did get the glow on.
Yeah, Mike, are you a Naomi guy?
I'm more of an Alexa Bliss guy.
Yeah,
actually, I do. I do like Alexa Bliss, though. I mean, I don't like. Here's the thing. Yeah, she might be a heel, but you know what? I do like her as well. I like her appearance. I like how she wrestles and everything.
She's got a very Harley Quinn look to her.
Exactly.
And it's
exactly.
But yeah, your thoughts on this match?
Thoughts on the match? I believe I haven't looked at it because again I fell asleep.
It was short. It was only about 6 minutes long.
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Damn. I don't know. I say, got no thoughts on it.
It was the death match basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, another happy moment, and unfortunately, it's time to finish off with the last match, which was just complete sadness. We timed this match to see how long Undertaker's entrance was.
Even with a warp zone, it took him 5 minutes and 20 seconds to get to the ring.
It was longer than Roman Reigns' first title run.
It was longer than Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it was about.
It was a whole minute, almost a minute longer.
There was a shot where we see just Undertaker walking down the ring, and he's still about halfway there. And I was tempted to play the music from Monty Python, where the guy is like running towards the castle and is going nowhere. Yeah, and the crowd obviously hated Roman, but you know what? Roman, he was clearly the heel in this feud, and you know what? This exemplifies why Roman should be a heel, because he was fantastic in this match as the heel. Mm-hmm. He has so much more. He has so much more charisma. He's so much more in his element.
He wanted to bury the Undertaker.
He wanted to kill the dead man dead.
And it's really a shame though, because watching this, the Undertaker really couldn't do much.
No, he's 52 years old. He's got a broken hip. He's in with a young, powerful, angry Samoan. And he
apparently, if you want to know, just say what you want about Roman Reigns, about how he's Vince's guy. The Undertaker asked Roman Reigns to retire him. This was his decision.
Yeah, so they didn't really do much. There was a few good spots, like when Roman speared Undertaker through the table. There was some chair. They got a chair involved. Was this the match where Undertaker chokeslammed Roman onto a chair?
I think so.
Yeah, it was. And then he also gave him the Tombstone Pile Driver. Roman was kicking out of everything. He was hulking up here. And then finally, Roman just unleashed hell on Taker. He hit him with multiple chair shots.
He hit him with a spear.
Several spears. Taker wouldn't die, and then this was really sad. He tried to do the Undertaker sit up. What do you call it?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Undertaker sit up, and then he just falls down. Mm-hmm. He's defeated. So Roman, he's sitting there in the corner thinking, yeah, I got this guy dead. He's in my yard now. I'm going to bury the hatchet. So he hits a couple more spears. Then Undertaker, he doesn't kick out at 3. And that's it. Mm-hmm. Undertaker is now 24-2?
I believe he's 24-2.
He is one of the ones in the 24-2.
And then the fireworks go off, and Roman just looks back. Like, you could see the heelish persona in his face.
After literally years of this shit, this was one of the best heel turns ever.
Well, we don't know if Roman's going full heel. We'll have to find out.
They better, because they were
they better.
Because yeah.
But then, let me finish this.
Go ahead, Nate.
Say what you want about the match with Roman and The Undertaker. Yes, it was slow. Yes, Undertaker couldn't do everything that he once did back when he debuted at WrestleMania 8. But what happened afterward completely nullified any criticisms I had about the match. The Undertaker slowly gets up and takes off all of his gear. He starts with his gloves, he takes off his coat, folds it up into a ball and places it in the ring, and finally he takes off his hat, places it in the center of the ring, and walks off into the night.
I almost forgot he was going to take his pants off at one point.
No, he wouldn't.
I just killed the mood. But I was on the verge of tears watching this.
It was his final match
period.
Ever. And he goes out. I wouldn't say he went out with a bang, but just it helped that his final moment was just him taking off everything, and what he does at the end whenever he turns his back and he raises up his fist, and then he's sinking down into the ramp thanks to the platform. It was chilling. It was heart-wrenching. It was, without question, the best moment of the night. The match itself was just
Yeah.
But seeing The Undertaker going away for good was, without a doubt, the single saddest moment of maybe of this whole year.
Yeah, just about. Mike, your thoughts on the whole thing? Take it easy.
1990. I'm going to go a brief history here. 1990, Survivor Series. Undertaker debuts after Ted DiBiase announces that the mystery partner from the Survivor Series happens to be The Undertaker. And if you see him dominate every single opponent out there, including Dusty Rhodes. I mean, it was phenomenal. Going back to his first time in WrestleMania, he haven't lost a WrestleMania. Not even once. There are 2 times that he lost. Well, actually...
No, yeah, 2 times.
Not yet. But there's only 1 time he lost. He lost to, a part-timer Brock Lesnar. Go ahead.
It was a decision that I have mixed feelings about, but
same here. And then now he has a second loss. A loss to the guy Roman Reigns. Now, I know there will be some people will be saying that Roman Reigns did not deserve that win. Honestly, I think it's for the best to see if Roman Reigns going to have a heel turn. Maybe this might help build up that heel turn.
Yeah.
And hopefully things will be a lot better for Roman Reigns, even though there's a lot of people booing him. And I mean, here's the thing: if you see the Usos got a heel turn and they're acting like total heels,
yeah,
maybe
the Usos have improved from this heel turn. They're really entertaining now.
Yes, but now I like to see Roman Reigns do the exact same thing as their cousins are doing.
Sometimes a heel turn can do wonders for you. Like the New Day, they were hated when they started out. Then they turned heel and they were able to shine. When the universe realized, oh hey guy, you know what, these guys really are cool. So they turned them babyface and they've been over ever since.
Exactly.
Like again, let's say with The Rock. Like he started out as a face, he was hated, then he turned heel. Rocky Maivia.
And let's not forget Broken Matt Hardy.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He was a complete heel. Even though that during that time he was Big Money Matt, no one cares about that. Yeah. But look at him, he looks like some sort of Seth Rollins ripoff. But ever since he became Broken Matt Hardy, he became heel. We started to like it. It's grow into it. We grow into that whole thing. And ever since then, he started to become face, and there you go. Now, Roman Reigns needs to take a picture from all of these people. New Day, The Rock, Broken Matt Hardy. And please, and not to mention, take a picture from to the Usos. Do it's like
his cousins.
His cousins, yeah. Just try to manage. It's like, let the people hate on you, but when you became heel, if you built your character even further, they start to like you. We'll start to grow on you. We'll start to say, hey, you are the guy.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm not calling that guy the guy.
No.
Until, because to me, he's just like John fucking Cena.
Yeah, Cena at least has some kind of likability to him. Roman just, you look at Roman and he just doesn't scream babyface.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was the match wasn't good, but it was a very emotional send off for Undertaker, and yeah, WrestleMania 33. It was very good. I think the quality really dropped when it got around to the championship matches.
Yeah, Rollins versus H and Orton versus Wyatt, I say, were the only major duds on that show. Like, for as much as I ranted about the women's match, the only problem I had with it really was just the booking. But
this was solid. We had a few title changes. A few guys got over.
It more than made up for WrestleMania 32.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm looking forward to Raw tonight, and that's a rarity.
We'll definitely be seeing some NXT talent debuting. Rumor has it that we're going to be seeing like Andrade Almas, Shinsuke Nakamura, of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hope he goes on SmackDown, but you never know.
The Revival also.
Yeah, and there's also been rumor that Jim Cornette may be the manager for the Revival.
I've even heard evidence that the Drifter may be coming to the main roster.
I never cared for the Drifter.
But overall, not a bad Mania. Not a bad Mania. In fact, I'd say it was very good. Some great matches, some not so great matches, but all in all, a great show from start to finish. I just wish that they learned how to pace their matches a little better.
Mike, what did you think of WrestleMania overall?
Well, it's a hit and miss, actually. Yeah. But it was a hit and miss, but one thing that kind of got the best for me is that how the Hardys came back.
Yes.
And you know what? Hopefully if they could just bypass this whole TNA lawsuit and please, Queen Rebecca, take care of this dastardly owl for your husband and your brother-in-law, so that way we can have broken Matt Hardy again. Yes.
And we can also have Senor Benjamin in Vanguard 1 and King Maxwell in the Hardy's Corner.
Oh, yes, King Maxwell. Hey, picture King Maxwell's second win against James. Yeah.
Against James Ellsworth.
James Ellsworth, thank you.
That would be money.
The second win against James Ellsworth.
Oh, I would love that. So yeah, that pretty much covers WrestleMania. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
I'll give it a 7. Oh my God, I'm getting death threats.
You know what? I'm giving it a 7 too. It was good. There were just some points that were kind of flopped, but I enjoyed it.
I'd say 7. I'd give it a 7.5.
Yeah. Also, a news flash. Jim Ross has revealed that he has a 2-year WWE contract now.
It's the best they could do for him after what happened with poor Jan.
It's good. We love JR. God bless him.
Yeah, as long as how about this? Keep Josh Matthews far away from the WWE.
Josh is not going to be in WWE anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So yeah, that pretty much covers it. Mike, we want to say thank you for being part of the podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. Pleasure's all yours.
And you're welcome to come back anytime, because we're thinking of branching out and reviewing some more stuff.
Yeah, we usually do Robot Wars reviews, but we're trying to branch out. We're doing wrestling pay-per-views now.
Well,
we're gonna work on that.
I'm doing Mania, but if you want to do some of the other ones, you're kind of on your own.
Yeah, Payback is the next pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So
all right, then.
Until then, I'm the Hardcore Kid, and to my left is Otaku Nate, and Mike Maverick.
Yo,
thank you for joining us on this podcast, and until next time, peace out.
Later.
Farewell, Texas Red.